Page number 4. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Om Yedharama Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Maha Om Yedharama Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Jayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaya Swaha. Om Yedharama Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaya Swaha. Okay, just check page number 213. Is it the same?
Yeah.
213. Just see, huh?
213.
There's nothing there. 213. What's there? 213. Huh?
His Holiness, the person of the Lion's Prayer.
Oh no. Just go to the table of contents and see there's the title, Independent Origination and Emptiness, a combination of excerpts from sutras and treatises for meditation. 208. 208. Okay, the emptiness study and reflection that we are doing here, and then meditation. This would be extremely healing for us, and particularly when we are all bound to go through some difficulties in our life. We are bound to go through difficulties in our life, and there is no escape. As long as the self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance is there, there's no escape. Somehow the problems are bound to be there with us. And some people, they are so keen that, okay, I'm fed up with my life, I like to leave everything and go to Himalaya for meditation. Self-grasping, self-centered, they will also come with you. And they will not leave us. So the point is that this meditation is going to be extremely beneficial for us to get rid of the self-grasping ignorance, and then you'll finally feel the rest of your mind, the real rest of the mind. You'll feel that. Okay, for that matter, this compilation is extremely precious. It's the many years of effort. In the first place, some of the stanzas which His Holiness the Dharma uses, and always the advise people to memorize and use for your practice, one, and then my many years of studies in the monastery university from under the guidance of my very precious teachers, extremely incredibly great philosophers, logicians and practitioners. And so from them I received the teachings, and for all these many years I've been gathering the materials, number one from His Holiness's teachings, and then number two from the teaching that I got from my teachers. I've been compiling all of them. So this is more of the effort of these many years. It's just for about a few pages, about like 7 pages there. And just see if you can, this would be like invigorating the studies that you did, the reflection meditation that you did, you are doing. These excerpts will invigorate the imprints of your thought of emptiness. And we're going to read this here. For example, the first one, some of them are in the form of the benefits that you will be, let's say, what benefits are there if you practice emptiness, if you practice wisdom of emptiness. And some of them are the actual, the tips or the manuals for your practice. So the implementation, how to really imbibe them in your practice. This is number 2. And number 3, some of the facets of the meditation, and in what way to give you as a very holistic and blueprint, a big, broad blueprint of the meditation, the format of the meditation, the benefit of meditation, so forth. The first one, for example, the Buddha himself is comparing between the two bodhisattvas. The bodhisattva who already generated bodhicitta for the last like many eons, but devoid of the wisdom of emptiness, without the wisdom of emptiness. Whereas on the other hand, a bodhisattva who freshly became a bodhisattva just like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, or 1 or 2 weeks ago, a bodhisattva, a new bodhisattva with the wisdom of emptiness. So the Buddha Shakyamuni was comparing between the two, and then exhorting to Manjushri that look, of the two bodhisattvas, the bodhisattva with the wisdom of emptiness, the merit that he or she accumulates is going to be far, 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 far more excelling as compared to the merits accumulated by the bodhisattva who generated the bodhicitta for the last many eons. Which means that what makes the whole difference is the wisdom of emptiness. So for us to really see the wisdom, to have the wisdom of emptiness so precious, and that all of the merits, the virtues that we engage in, there is going to be given a quality, edge will be given to that by the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, this is what the Buddha said. And then number 2 is a very important, the passage or the stanza said by Acharya Aridev, the direct disciple of Nagarjuna, who said in his 400 verses, this text is a very beautiful text, a little technical, and requires to be, even the language is a little tough. It's not only the English, the original Tibetan is very tough, and then they later on we come to realize that even the Sanskrit is very tough. So in other words, this text, 400 verses by Acharya Aridev, is little technical, but it's extremely precious text. So I would highly suggest you to study that, and so that book is available in English, and the commentary and the translation is very good translation by the Ruth Sonam, who was the student of the most venerable Geshe Sonam Rinchen, the late Geshe Sonam Rinchen, who passed away. Great, and I would say bodhisattva, amazing. You could feel the warmth of this great teacher. I remember myself when I was a student, just graduated from high school, joined the monastery, and then during the annual exams, he would be invited as one of the examiners, and it so happened that he was sitting right in the row. He was sitting as examiner, sitting the one, just before me, and he was, of course, being the teacher, examiner, he was on the bigger seat. And I was down, and it was such an honor for me to be just sitting next to him. I have the presupposition that I came up with is that, who is a great teacher. So of course he will just pay no heed to us. We are just no one. It's very different. The moment you are sitting next to him, he will talk to you as though like a classmate. So kind, so warm, so amazing. You could feel that. I was so impressed. So later on, all his works, there are so many his teachings available in English. Most of them, I think, published from the Snowline publication. Nowadays, it's Shambhala, the Snowline publication. These books are highly valued. I would very much encourage you to read those books, and particularly the commentary. They wrote a commentary, taught this text, 400 verses, and the translator, Jerusalem, is a very good translation. The English translation, there are many books. Some are not really good translations, and depends on the translator. Some translators are so good, particularly Ruth Sonam. She's a lady, and her translations are so precise, very good. Okay, so I would highly recommend you to read that. So there, in this book, 400 verses, Acharya Haridev, what is said is that those with less merit will not even have a doubt on this teaching on emptiness. Should there be a doubt on this teaching, will shatter your samsara into pieces. It's a beautiful verse. In fact, some people, you talk about emptiness, they become so active, alert, and so the curiosity simply flares up. Or some people, emptiness, I'm very, just very indifferent. This is a very clear indication of whether or not the person is connected, having a merit. Those somehow simply connected with emptiness. What is this? Oh, it's interesting. It's interesting. Even out of curiosity, interesting, which means that the person has a tremendous merit. It's going to be connected. The moment you go into it, you will realize even a glimpse of emptiness, goosebumps will be formed in your body. Tickling sensation will be on your nerves. And then the cold waves will flow on your body. And a very incredibly profound tranquil experience can come from deep inside physiologically. You will feel that. This is so precious practice. So then, even if you are a little tense or so sad, feeling low, sit there and then just think about emptiness. The moment you get a glimpse of this, instantly, whole atmosphere is going to be changed. Whole atmosphere is going to be changed, and you feel instant lightness come to you. Whereas, the impermanence, meditation impermanence, okay, for example, there's somebody who's very difficult person, very complicated, difficult, complaining. And you think about this person, okay, even this person is impermanent, you think like this, okay, a gradual change will, initially your mind is so congested, irritated, you think about impermanence, okay, impermanence, then gradually, like a dawn, like a sunshine. Sunshine is not like dark, and the next moment it becomes bright sunshine. No, it's a very gradual process. So the meditation on impermanence, suffering, and so forth, is a very gradual process of the effect. Whereas with emptiness, it's very different. It is like what example should we give? Like electric shock. Electric shock is very fast. The effect is so instant, is so effective. So therefore, the wisdom of emptiness is said to be the one which shatters your samsara into pieces, your miseries into pieces. Okay, so we'll read this together. And try our best. The reading is not important. Meaning getting reflected, that is important. Meanings being reflected, that is important. And then later on, once you get a glimpse of emptiness, then the words flow, the meanings reflected, and the experience experience being invoked, words flow, meanings reflected, and experiences invoked. That should happen later on. Okay, for the time being, the meanings must be reflected as we read the words. Okay. Gift of Youth, Ratna Sutra. Manjushri, whoever listens even with doubt to this teaching on emptiness generates much greater merit than a bodhisattva who, lacking skill in means, practices the six perfections for 100,000 eons. This being so, what need is there to say anything about a person who listens to this teaching without doubt? What need is there to say who imparts the scripture in writing, memorizes it, and also teaches it thoroughly and extensively to others? The treasure of the one thus gone sutra. Any person who is possessing all these 10 great known virtues enters into the teaching of the self-existence and has faith and conviction that all phenomena are from the beginning pure of true existence, does not go to a bad rebirth. Chapter on Subduing Devil Sutra. If any bhikshu realizes that of all phenomena are absolutely pacified of inherent existence, and the beginning of the defilements is devoid of self-nature, it removes the guilt of having defilements and make unstable the defilements, thus deeming even the imaginable negativities dysfunctional, let alone the secondary wrongs done associated with ethics and rituals. Aradeva's 400 verses on the middle way. Those with less merit will not even have a doubt in this dharma of ultimate reality. Should an inquiry ever arise in someone, it will shatter samsara into pieces. Acharya Dharmakirti's commentary on Vedic cognition. Oh, is it there with you? Is it? It is not there. Acharya Dharmakirti's. It's not there? Okay, okay, which means that this has some additional verses. Okay, there are several new verses. Now this book has constantly been updated. The final version is coming. Now the final publication. Thus far is not published. So this is going to be the published version. This is going to be published version. It has the, okay, it's constantly being updated. Very soon, the moment I reach there in Delhi, a little settled, then the book will be published. Okay, so there are many more edits. So I would say just after this, then if you come to know about the proper publication, I would suggest go for the latest one, because the latest one, there are many editions as well. Not too many. Yeah. Okay, Acharya Chandrakirti is entering the middle way. Even as an ordinary being, when hearing about emptiness, if one experiences without utter joy again and again, tears thrown from such a moisten one's eyes, and one's hair stands on end. One is the seed of the wisdom of full awakening. The various delightful flowers. Okay, Upali Request Sutra. Yes, is it? Yes, Upali Request Sutra. The various delightful blossoms and the sparkling supreme golden apples stand so alluring. For none of these is their creator. They are posited by the power of thought. It is through the conceptualizations that the world is imputed. Bhikkhuni Vajira's utterance in the fundamental of the Vehicle Sutra. The mind is demonic, which views the true self. You have a wrong view. These composition aggregates are empty. There is no being in them. Just as one designates a card in dependence upon the collection of parts, so assert conventional sentient beings in dependence upon the aggregates. Venerable Shavara's writings excerpt. Searching for reality throughout space, one finds not the periphery nor the center. Often, likewise, through a total search of mind and phenomena, one finds not even an atom of essence. Since the searching mind is not found, nor seeing anything is seeing the reality. Saint Saraha's writings. But the word will not find the supreme path. By meditating upon compassion alone, one will not attain liberation but remain in samsara. The one capable of grasping the unity of the two will not remain in samsara nor abide in the personal nirvana. King of Concentration Sutra. Just as in the dream of a young girl, she met with a boy and saw his death. Joyous was she at the meeting, and in anguish at his death. View all phenomena as thus. Aranikarjuna's fundamental wisdom in the middle way. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions leads to nirvana. Karma and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. These arise from mental elaborations grasping a true existence. elaboration ceases by or into emptiness. Neither the aggregates, no different from the aggregates. Aggregates don't depend on him, nor is he dependent on them. The Tathagata does not possess the aggregates. What is the Tathagata? That which is dependently originates is posited to be empty of independent existence. That being dependently designated, this is the middle way. Since there is no phenomenon, therefore there is no phenomenon that is not empty. Aranyaka precious garland. If the person is not earth, not water, not fire, not air, not space, not also consciousness, and not all of them, where is the person out of those? Just as the person is not truly existent because of being an aggregation of the 6 elements, each element also is not truly existent as the aggregations of their own constituents. Dhammasamgiti Sutra. Forms appear as a mass of foam. Feelings resemble bubbles in water, and discrimination is like a mirror. Oh, is it there with your book? Huh? Perception is like okay, it better would be discrimination. Perception is a very loose translation. And discrimination is like a mirage. Metal formation are like planted trees. Consciousness is like a magical illusion. So, sought Surya Mitra. Surya Mitra means the Buddha. Next. Arya Nagarjuna's comment on the awakened mind. Do you see that? Okay, yes. Those who understand this emptiness of phenomena, they are also conformed to the law of karma and its results. That is more amazing than amazing, that is more wondrous than wondrous. Aryadeva's founded verses on the middle way. When dependent arising seen, ignorance does not occur. Thus, through all efforts, strive to find this subject. His Holiness the 7 Dalai Lama's rain shower feeds a song of the 4 mindfulnesses as a guide to the view of the middle way. At the crossroads of 6 collections of consciousness that have diverse perceptions are seen the hazy dualistic phenomena which are baseless. There is a magical show that is by nature deceptive. Don't believe them to be true, but view them as having the nature of emptiness. Don't let the mind go astray, but place it within the nature of appearance emptiness. Through not losing mindfulness, hold it within the nature of appearance and emptiness. The sphere appearing and existing phenomena is pervaded by the space of ultimate clear light of suchness. There is an ineffable ultimate reality. View this nature of emptiness through abandoning mental contrivances. Don't let your mind go astray, but place it within the ambience of reality. Through not losing mindfulness, hold it within the ambience of reality. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's prayer for proliferating the Dhamma of the Lotus Nose. Venerable Marba Lozawa, Shebe Dorji, and so on. The host of precious Kagyu, the sources of blessings. The chain of the unexcelled masters of the outstanding tradition. To you all I pray, may the Buddha Dhamma of the land of snows blaze forevermore. All phenomena encompassing samsara and nirvana are but the radiance of spontaneous awareness. Awareness itself, devoid of elaborations, is realized in the nature of Dharmakaya. Pervading all existences and appearances of samsara and nirvana is the great Mahamudra. May the Buddha Dhamma, the land of snows, blaze forevermore. Aranyaka in praise of Dharmadhatu. Impermanent, suffering, and empty. These three, they purify the mind. The Dharma that is unsurpassed and purified the mind is a lack of intrinsic nature. Concluding prayer from Lama Tsongkhapa's Ocean of Reasoning, a commentary with Aranyaka fundamental wisdom in the middle way. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by a Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of dependent origination in particular, even in the course of my life. Okay, this part is extremely important sadhana of the Shri Heruga. Okay, Shri Heruga is the name of a Buddha, one of the Buddhas, like Shri Kalachakra, Shri Guhyasamaja, Shri Vajrabhairava, Shri Chakasamvara, Shri Hevajra, Shri the Vajrakilaya, and so forth. All these, the tantric deities. Shri Heruga is one of the tantric deities. And the Buddhas, how they choose their names. Shri Heruga, how they choose their names. Even the names are chosen to benefit the beings. This is, okay, so I will explain this later after completing the 4 what?
Seals.
Huh? 4?
Seals.
I see. Forces we did before, right? Something for, there are so many fours. Do you remember?
4 essentials.
Ah, thank you, Henrik. 4 essentials. After completing 4 essentials, then we will do the rejection, the establishing emptiness by rejecting the 7 modes. And then we will go into to this Shirihiru. This is an extremely powerful the passage. Okay, with folded hands, with folded hands, let's say this: Shirihiru ga, Shirihiru ga, Shirihiru ga. He is the self-essence of phenomena, the emptiness of the mind, which is the source of everything, as it is imputed to be of causal nature. Ru is the self-essence of person, the emptiness of the self that is fabricated by the conceptual thought that grasps the self of person. Ka is the ultimate reality, the absence of the dissonant duality of subject and object. Shri is the non-dual exalted wisdom that is abides in congruence with the emptiness of the object. This is the meaning of Evam. Okay, so I would suggest you to read this compilation once in a while, if possible, during the weekends, once in a week, or at least once in a month or twice a month. That would be extremely beneficial to invoke to make the study, reflection, meditation, emptiness so alive. Okay. So yesterday, where did we leave? Where did we leave yesterday? Huh?
The ground of negative emotions is self-grasping ignorance.
Oh, that is okay. This is a little digression from, again, your name. Karita. Okay. So this is digression from what the question asked by Karita. So what were we discussing? Where did we leave?
Affirmative and non-affirmative negativity.
Huh?
Affirmative and non-affirmative negative.
Yeah, but then we finish with every phenomenon has 2 truths, relative and ultimate.
Okay, good. We talked about the entities, isolates, entity-wise. The entity-wise one different, isolated-wise one different, positive, negative, with negative affirming, non-affirming. Emptiness is always negative phenomena. With the negative, is non-affirming negative. Okay, this is what we have been discussing, right? Okay. That's one complicated question. Very complicated question. I'll just throw it to you. And the questions that I ask you, don't expect me to give reply. Did you understand what I said?
Yes.
Huh? Really? Did you understand what I said? Did you follow what I said? Huh? Okay, how many of you heard what I said? What did I say?
Don't expect the questions you ask to be followed by a reply. The questions you ask us to be followed by a reply.
Of course, we can expect a reply from you.
But not from you.
Okay, yes, this is what I said. Don't give me the chance to ask question. If I ask a question, you will not get answer from me. You're getting? So therefore, you should be able to ask me a question. Don't give me the chance to ask a question. You're getting it? So I'm going to ask one question. So for me to run away from the answers, right? Okay, if I ask a question, you are not entitled to expect ask the question back to me, because it's coming from me. It's not your question, right? The question is, the emptiness, if it is non-affirming negative, which means that nothing should be affirmed, right? Reject independent existence, nothing should be affirmed. But when you say there's no independent existence, dependent existence should be affirmed. If dependent existence is affirmed, then it becomes affirming negative. But then the very standard position of the highest Buddhist school, particularly Arunnagarjuna and all these great giants of the Mahayana teachings, according to them, emptiness is always non-affirming negative. So the question is, if emptiness are the non-affirming negative, emptiness means what? Emptiness of independent existence. When I say there is no independent existence, dependent existence is affirmed.
No, because a non-existent thing doesn't have any kind of existence.
No.
Neither.
Did you follow? No. Independent existence is rejected. Emptiness of independent existence means independent existence is rejected. Yeah. When you say that the Vedi doesn't eat any food in the nighttime, means we'll give you food in the daytime. Right? Of course. This is what we learned yesterday. You're getting it? Did you understand? If you don't understand the question, I'm very lucky. Then you will not, bother me. The question is, yesterday we talked about affirming negative. What example did we give? This strong person have not been eating anything in the night time. So you give the food in the daytime. Never eats anything in the night time. So the eating in the daytime is inferred, right?
But the horns of a rabbit don't have a dependent existence either.
No. So what we said is that the horn of a rabbit also doesn't eat in the night time, right? Doesn't eat in the night time. So whereas a strong person doesn't eat in the nighttime means it's in the daytime. You're getting it? Likewise, when you say the flower doesn't exist independently means it exists dependently. Okay.
How do we know that the relationship of the independent existence to dependent existence is the same as a strong person having to eat at some point? We don't know that they are the only two mutually exclusive possibilities.
Of course, that's very easy. The moment we see that, first of all, to say emptiness of objective existence, this is the understanding of emptiness. To understand emptiness, we have to go through the four essentials. What's the first essential? Anna Marie, where is the four essentials? Huh? Where is the four essentials? Huh?
Identifying the object.
Essential of identifying the object negation. We should precisely identify the object negation, which is independent existence. We should know what exactly does it mean by independent existence. Only then you can think about the emptiness of independent existence. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Thomas.
But even dependent existence should be rejected later.
No, never. Because there are some people who teach like this. This is a disaster. There are some people who teach.
That's why I was asking. I was thinking maybe you lead us step by step to that kind of view.
Wow.
I have not heard about that somebody rejects dependent existence, but I was like, oh, if we go to real emptiness of everything,
Okay, I know that some people teach like that. It's very dangerous. In the first place, we don't know whether that person really understands emptiness. You're getting it? There are some very popular teachers. Popular teachers means, usually I say that there's one drawback with the democracy. What's the drawback of the democracy? Drawback. Drawback of democracy is, tell me.
Majority rules.
No, this is not drawback. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. What is the drawback? Huh?
Freedom of speech.
No, freedom of speech must be there. It must be there. Yes, Henrik?
Popular opinion doesn't necessarily have to be the right opinion.
Okay, that's true. But Henrik is too gentle. My version is more tough. My version is more rough. What I would say is that majority of the people, they are not intelligent. Mind one is very direct and Hendrik one is very soft. Majority of people, they're not really intelligent. Look at many of the countries. The head are not the leaders that who won the election. They're not really good leaders. They're not really good leaders. They're not really thinking about the people. People cast a vote expecting that this person will help us. They are not at all thinking about you. This is the weakness of the democracy. People are not so intelligent.
That's why
The majority who cast a vote, they are not really. Majority wins in democracy. Majority are not, unfortunately, they are not so intelligent. So this is a problem. So therefore, how some people they become so popular, not necessarily because they are learned, because they talk in such a fancy way that people wow and finish. And then they say, no, eventually even dependent origination is to be rejected. Right? This is where we are going wrong. So therefore it's very dangerous. So from tomorrow morning, so this morning we just took the aspiration Bodhicitta vow. Now there's one small section left to be added tomorrow. So this is about how to make a compassion profound on the basis of the understanding of emptiness. And then there in the same text which we're going to read from Bodhisattva Shantideva's text, Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, chapter 9. So there he said how difficult it is to meet with the correct path. It's so difficult to meet with the correct path of emptiness. So therefore we should be very careful. Okay, little digression. Done. So what I said is that emptiness of independent existence, in other words, emptiness, it is a non-affirming negative. There's no compromise to this. This is non-affirming negative. And if you don't understand it, there's a non-affirming negative. If you think that it's an affirming negative, you will never get emptiness. The moment you see it as an affirming negative, what you will meditate is you will meditate on affirming negative. The moment you meditate on affirming negative, the indications will come in the form of a clash with the negative thoughts, with the negative emotions. Indications that what you're meditating is in clash with the negative thoughts, in the form of the sparks coming out when the fight happens. The sparks, all these things happen in the form of the tinge of fear and the tickling sensation of body and so forth. They will not at all arise, which means that our the negative emotions are not at all rectified. There's no point. So it is a non-affirming negative, guaranteed. Then the question arises, we spoke about the emptiness. Emptiness means emptiness of independent existence. It's a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Emptiness of independent existence means dependent existence. So dependent existence is affirmed. So how come that it is a non-affirming negative? This is a question. Okay, with this, we continue from where we left yesterday, is identify the object of negation. That is done. That is done. Now, once you identify the object of negation well, if you don't identify object of negation well, then we see that however much you may put effort to study, reflect, and meditate emptiness, you may at the most end up with of the 5 levels of emptiness which we discussed yesterday. The 5 levels which we did not really discuss. We enumerated the 5 levels of emptiness. You may end up in the first level, second level, third one, but not for sure in the 5th level. So if you don't reach the 5th level, there's no way by which you can eradicate all your mental defilements. Okay, so this is another thing that we discussed yesterday. Now the question is, okay, let's see, having identified the object of negation well, something objectively real, something independently real, objective real, nothing to do with the mind. Also, yes, we also discussed about the 3 levels of dependent origination. Dependent origination. What are 3 levels of dependent origination?
Causes and conditions.
I gave you full, I expect the full.
Dependent origination of the results, dependent causes and conditions.
Dependent origination of dependence, or dependent origination of the results, dependence on the causes, number one. Number two,
Dependent origination of the work is dependent on the parts.
dependent origination of the wholes, dependence on the parts.
Dependent origination is very
mental designation.
Very good. Dependent origination of the dependence on mere mental designation. Three. Of the three, only if you understand the third one, then you can understand emptiness. Otherwise, simply by understanding the first two levels of dependent origination will not entitle you to have understood emptiness. Let us not forget this. Which means, even seeing that things don't exist objective, no, that the flower does not exist independently, the self does not exist independently. This is not a connotation of emptiness. And many people, they explain emptiness as that the object does not exist independently, the self does not exist. No, self does not exist permanently. Self does not exist as a permanent entity. This is not the understanding of emptiness. Many people say like this. These are all wrong. These are all very gross. 5 levels of emptiness. It is just the first level of emptiness, not the second, not even, forget about the 5th, not even the 2nd. It's the first level, right? Okay, these are things where we need to have the correct understanding. Okay, so what is the second essential?
Second essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being one with its parts.
I'm expecting everybody to have these 4 essentials on our fingertips.
Sorry, Geshe.
Okay. Tomorrow, this afternoon, fingertips. This afternoon? Huh? Hendrik, you tell me. When? This afternoon or tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, let's say tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, let's have the 4 essentials on the fingertips. 4 essentials plus the conclusion. What's the conclusion?
Emptiness of the objective existence of the object, generic objectivity of the object.
Very good. Therefore, I said therefore. Did I say this?
Therefore.
Yeah. Therefore, emptiness of objective existence of the object is the objectivity of the object. Along with the conclusion, we should have the 4 essentials on our fingertips tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, first session. If it is not there, then what do we do? Then we do soul offering and then wind up. Huh? Okay. The second essential, having identified object negation well. Oh, also we did what is known as ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. We did it.
Yeah.
Huh?
You were supposed to talk about that, the conventional reality and ultimate reality.
No. What I said was that the reality found by the conventional analysis is known as ultimate conventional reality, conventional truth, and the truth found by the ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. And then on that basis we talked about the Heart Sutra. Form is empty, emptiness of form, emptiness not in form is also not emptiness. This will be discussed.
But I don't think was in that.
Huh?
In a level of detail.
So Emilia is wanting detail.
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm not sure we saw in a level of detail.
Oh, okay,
You were
okay.
elaborating and then you brought the Heart Sutra
Yes.
when you were comparing the way Group A was looking at the flower compared to Group B. And then you brought the Heart Sutra into it. But I can't recall that we got the concepts, Geshe, you just mentioned now, like writing down really and discuss.
Oh, okay, okay,
But it
okay.
can be my recollection of being okay. I don't know.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so what we learned yesterday was that you look at the flower through Group A, looking through a naked eyes, Group B, looking at through electron microscope. And we said that there are 2 different emotions arising within us. One, the feeling of appeal. One, the feeling of calmness there. Not really as an appeal, wow, it's nice, because it's just the flower disappears. Okay, 2. Then the question asked was, why these two different emotional states are arising? Then the answer came, the Sami, right? What's the Sami and the Anamari, right? Your name?
That's me. I don't think I had that answer.
Your name?
He said perception.
Anamari.
Different perception.
Anamari. So you talked more about the subject. Okay, so it's just the subject, the perception. Perception is purely subject. The subject is nothing to do with the object. Subject. Then I'm talking about the object. I ask, what is this? I did not ask, what is your subject? I asked, what is this? I asked the object, and you are referring to the subject. You getting it? So I said that a subject has nothing to do with my question. Remove all the subjects out. What is this? So this is where we stopped. And then what we said was that, okay, the fact that, then who was that? Somebody, Anamari, you said? Yes, you. What you said was that if the perception is not included, you cannot describe what it is. Some of you said it, 2 or 3 people said it. Because the moment we talk about it, it exists only by dependence on the perception. Okay, so what I said was that finally the idea is, what is this? We see it as independent of a subject. When we look at this object, we see it as independent of a subject. So from this, what you said was that independent of the subject, there's nothing really there. Independent of the subject, there's nothing really there. Independent of the perception, there's nothing really there. Because you remove all the perceptions, then what is this object? It makes no sense. So the object makes sense as a water with respect to the naked eyes. Object makes sense as the electrons, protons, neutrons with respect to the electron microscope. Object makes sense as H2O with respect to the chemists. For example, okay. Okay, the Henry's wife's name?
Marika.
Marika. Okay, Marika was your mother's name? Ritva. Marika is daughter or mother?
Both.
With respect to your mother's name again? Ritva. With respect to Ritva? Daughter. With respect to the 2 children? Mother, not daughter. Right? The same object seen as 2 different things. As the mother or as the daughter. As a daughter is not from the object, but depends on the frame of reference. Frame of reference. Frame of reference is not the object, it's something different. It's a subject. Right? So the object makes sense only in relation to the frame of reference. Independent of the frame of reference, the Marika is the mother, daughter makes no sense. Independent of the frame of reference, individual person become mother, daughter makes no sense. It makes sense only with the frame of reference. This is what the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago. And Albert Einstein came up with the same concept, relativity theory. Said that everything must exist by dependence on the frame of reference. So he taught the relativity of space, which Newton also taught. He also taught the relativity of time. Newton thought that time was absolute. And Albert Einstein said, even time is relative. Time we can speak of only in relation to the frame of reference. Independent of the frame of reference, we cannot even speak about the time. Time makes sense. Because of this, then the whole concept of the time dilation, twins paradox, all these experiments twins paradox experiment, all this come into being on that basis, saying that things exist by dependence on the frame of reference. Independent of the frame of reference, nothing's really there. So object. This is relativity theory of Albert Einstein. Okay, so with this, from this what we see is that with your naked eyes as a frame of reference, this is water. With your naked eyes as a frame of reference, right? With the Marika, right? With respect to Marika's children, Marika is a mother. With respect to Marika's mother, Ritva, Marika is a daughter. Likewise, with respect to your eyes, group A's eyes, naked eyes, this is water. With respect to group B's, the electron microscope, this is electrons, protons, neutrons. And then with respect to the, now look, the naked eyes is the conventional analysis. With respect to the conventional analysis, this is water. With respect to ultimate analysis, this is emptiness of water. You getting it? Because they see that water is not there. With respect to them, the water is not there. So what is this? For group B, with respect to with the ultimate analysis as the frame of reference, this is emptiness of water. With respect to the conventional analysis, this is, hey, group A, water. Group B, emptiness of water. Why group A? You are saying that this is water? Because you are using the conventional analysis. Group A, group B, why are you seeing emptiness of water? Because you are using the ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Now, if you discard the two analysis, conventional analysis, ultimate, you discard the two, what is this? It makes no sense. You're getting it? With respect to Ritva, and with respect to your two children, yes. Right? Then the Marika makes sense as the mother, daughter, whatever. If these two are discarded, then it doesn't make sense as daughter or a mother. You're getting it? Likewise, only with respect to the conventional analysis, this makes sense as water, as a conventional truth. Water. Only with respect to ultimate analysis, this makes sense as a emptiness of the water. Independent of these two, discard these two analysis, nothing is really there. Okay. Yet it doesn't mean that nothing is there. Things are there. You again, how things are there when the two subjects are removed. When the two subjects are removed, what is left? If something is left, what is left? Object is left. When the two subjects are removed, then the object should exist objectively, not from the subject, because subjects are removed. It should exist objectively. Objectively, nothing's there. Then how do things exist? Things exist only subjectively. Only how we view. How we view, this is how things exist. For example, a dream. Okay. Dream ghost exists or not exists? Dream ghost exists or not exists? Dream ghost does not exist. Raise your hands. Dream ghost doesn't exist. 1, 2, 3. Marika, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Dream ghost. Yes, of course, dream ghost exists. Raise your hands. Dream ghost exists. Okay, what about those people who did not raise your hands? Half. Dream ghost half exists, half doesn't exist. Okay, now, do you agree with me? Dream ghost, who agrees with me? Dream ghost does not exist as a real ghost, but it does exist as a dream ghost. Raise your hands. Dream ghost does not exist as a real ghost, but it does exist as a dream ghost. Raise your hands. Although it does not exist as a real ghost, it does exist. Raise your hands. Good. It does exist, not as a real ghost. Okay. The dream ghost exists. How does this exist? Subjectively or objectively? Subjectively. Purely subjectively. Right? Purely subjectively. So therefore something subjectively exists, still it exists. Likewise, everything that we experience, that we encounter with, They are saying it's so objectively real. This is deception. Things are there. Things are there. Things do exist. Things do exist, but they exist subjectively. For when you're watching a movie. Okay, let's all imagine that we're all like 5 years old boys, girls, very young boys and girls, age 5 years old, and watching a movie, very scary movie here. Tell me, where's the movie? It's on the screen. Where's the movie coming from? From the projector. The projector is your subject. You're getting it? It's not coming from the screen, it's coming from the projector. And then when the movie is very scary, what do? You try to not look at it, try to cover your head, right? Because you see it's so real from the object. The movie exists. The movie does exist, right? Although it does not exist from the screen, it does exist from the projector. Likewise, everything exists. Everything exists from the projector like your own mind. Listen, 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 listen. No hands up for the time being. Hands down. Listen. Or I'll give you a chance for the questions later on. Just listen. This is a very important concept. If you miss one screw, then the machine will not operate. Machine of emptiness will not operate. Right? Okay, so every screw must not be missed. So there, now what is happening is that everything exists. Okay, we all meditate on emptiness. Then in our meditation, we switch from the conventional analysis to the ultimate analysis. With respect to us, everything dissolves. Right? Okay, so here in the Theosophical Society branch, here in this place, we're meditating. We all meditate on emptiness. So we just go directly into emptiness, so deep. But the Finnish traffic will continue. No traffic jam will happen. Traffic will be continuously. Traffic will be there. Flights will be, aeroplanes will be flying. Some people are fighting. Some people are showing compassion. Some people in office. Fights are happening. Compassion is happening. Everything is happening the way they are happening as usual. Our meditation emptiness on the meditation and emptiness will not dissolve them. They will operate. Everything will operate in their own ways. Right? What happens is that in your mind, what earlier was seen as on the object, from the object, now you realize that everything is operating, but not from the objective, from the subjective. Everything is operating. Everything is there. Now the shift happens in your mind. That in your mind, not on the reality. On the reality, everything is operating. How? Subjectively, but we see them subjectively. In your mind, we see them operating objectively. Things operate, but we see them operating objectively. This is deception. So what happens is there's no change happening in the world. The world remains the same. What change happens is in your mind. Now, the whole operation of the universe is lifted in your mind from the object to the subject. Subject still is operating. Subjectively, everything is operating. You're getting it? Okay. So then what is the benefit? The benefit is that, say, when you see somebody who's very nasty person, see like this, then you shrink, you become agitated. And when you see the nasty person like atoms, just a bunch of atoms, then you feel relaxed. Right? So when you see that everything is coming from your mind, nothing really from the object, you feel relaxed. Every bit of the tension, stress will be relaxed. All pains will be relaxed. All pains will be relaxed by seeing this emptiness, seeing that everything is operating, but on the subjective level, not objectively. Okay, so how to realize that? That would be wonderful if we get to this level of understanding. How to realize this? This next question. Okay, so let's say that in the first place, what we need to know is we need to know what is conventional analysis and what is ultimate analysis. Right? Okay, let's say that what is conventional analysis, what is ultimate analysis? Okay, don't speculate. First listen. Okay, Henry, I'm meeting the first time, in my life, in this life, right? In the past life, we never know. Yeah, in this life, we are meeting for the first time. Okay. Okay, now I know Henry for the last, how many days? 4 days or 5 days?
4 days. I think I'm 4 days. Lost.
Let's say 4 days. There's 4 days I know Henry. And if you are, say, the visitor to this place, visitor meaning, who have no clue of who Henry is, and you want to hire Henry for a job, and you want to know what exactly is Henry like, will you ask me, or you will ask the Henry's long-term school teacher? Who will you ask?
Well, the school teacher.
Why?
Because that person had theoretically, more exposure to Henry.
Exactly, because that person knows Henry more closely.
Theoretically.
You're getting it? That person knows Henry more closely than me knowing Henry just for 4 days. Okay, whose description of Henry? Whose description of Henry is more ultimate? Or what he said is ultimate, what she said is ultimate. You're getting it? Huh?
Ultimate.
Oh, don't think of the philosophy.
The teacher.
Of course. Right? Don't think of the philosophy for the time being. I'm talking about the giving job to Henry. Right? There's nothing to do with philosophy. You're getting giving job to people is being done in Finland and all the world. The people who do not have any clue of philosophy, they are giving the job, right? They're being very efficient. You don't require philosophy, so don't expect that he's expecting some philosophy answers, right? So what I was saying is that who knows Henry more closely, right? No, he was just yes.
The one who knows reality better.
The one who knows emptiness better?
Yeah, the nature of reality better.
This is where we are going wrong. Look, again, for Henry, somebody to give a job, the person to give a job should have an emptiness experience. Okay, what I'm saying is that the same, when we use the philosophical terms, try your best. First, try to understand this. Try to understand this in the conventional, the way this word is used in the conventional sense. In the conventional sense, ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Tell me, in the conventional sense mean even without the philosophy, do people use the words conventional and ultimate? Do they use the words? May not be so often, it doesn't matter. Do they use or not?
Yes. No.
They don't use.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think it's used. I think everything is taken as it's conventionally.
That's good. What you said is that I don't think. I don't think it's fine. It's not used, may not be too fine. It's not used means that you are generally saying. I don't think it's my opinion. You're getting it? Okay. Say whose position should be taken more seriously? The Finnish Prime Minister's statement should be taken more seriously, or the shopkeeper's statement, right? According to regarding the government issues, in the context of government issues, government matters, what the president said is ultimate, right? What the president said is ultimate, not what the shopkeepers say. Which of the two is ultimate? What the law says is ultimate, right? What the law says. Okay, so the president is saying, but it doesn't accord with the law. So which is ultimate? Shopkeeper said, president said, and the law. Okay, is this how the conventional people say? Yes, of course. Conventional doesn't mean that who does not know, who is totally uneducated. There's not meaning. Meaning somebody who is not exposed to philosophy. He can be a brilliant lawyer, right? Although the president says it, but it does not accord with the law. What the law says is ultimate. You're getting it? So this word ultimate is used by the conventional world, right? And then say the word convention. Is it used in the conventional sense?
Yes.
Can you give me some examples? Huh? Can you give me some examples? If you have, yes, Stina?
So for example, if there is, if I say that there's a big meeting, it's a convention, but it's especially for certain type of people, like...
Oh, that is convention, okay. What is that meaning of that convention in that context? It's a meeting.
Yeah.
So meeting. So convention, not in the context of the meeting, convention the way we are going to understand it.
Conventional means like normal, typical, like...
Okay, normal, yes, that's very true. And then Virginia, you were saying something, Virginia?
The way we agree on things.
With the way we agree on things. And the way, give me your name. What way Karida says is also one way. How do you describe? You describe very nicely.
It's like normal.
Normal, this is conventional, this conventional, right? Normal, typical, and then the way Virginia said it's also the way people agreement.
A convention, well, again, it's my opinion. A convention, you are bringing people together who are like-minded, is a given topic, and in that way they are supposed to share similar ideas or discussing a particular topic.
So what is convention? The like-minded people coming together, or the topic is the convention, or the like-minded people coming together is the convention, or the decision making is convention, or what? Make it very precise.
No.
Which one?
I think I would see a convention is a gathering of people, but it's not that they are there.
Okay,
for
gathering people.
one objective. Yes.
Gathering people. Is this what you're saying?
Well, that's too broad.
Clarity is required.
That's
Even
too
the
broad.
listen, even the clarity we can learn. You getting it? We can learn how to bring the clarity. Also, when you say something, the lawyers should have clarity. Particularly fighting lawyers should have clarity. Is there anybody fighting lawyers? They should have great clarity. If the clarity is missing, no chance for them to win the court case. Because you have 5 minutes. Whatever you have to say, tell me, okay, you're the judge here, 5 minutes. Hey, the lawyer from this side, you have 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you should be able to articulate the concept so well. You have so much material to convey, right? And we just expand one point, expand like this, no clarity there, finished, 5 minutes up. There must be clarity. And even this clarity can be trained. We can train in this clarity. This is very important. Okay, so for your information, when I think I was in class 9, which means I was about like 16 years old or...
No, 13, 14.
No. Class 9, yeah. Huh? I was 15 or if the 14 is thing, then I was 1 year older. 1 year older than average student. I was 15, the minimum I was 15. Class 9. The teacher said one thing. I was not exposed to philosophy. The physics teacher said one thing. The physics teacher said that all these electricities, they have 2 poles. One is positive and one is negative. And I was so curious, how can I know which is positive, which is negative? Right? What is there? Which electricity running like this is positive? Running like up, down, this is negative? I was so curious. I was waiting, what is he going to say? One is positive, one is negative. I was waiting with great excitement. I was just 15 years old. He said, which is positive, which is negative? Positive, negative is just convention. I was shocked. There's no reason to say that this is positive, this is negative. There's no reason to say. It's just a conventionally said that one is positive, one is negative. I was shocked. Amazing. So I was waiting for something very tangible, objectively real, positive, negative. And he said it's just convention. I couldn't really believe what he was saying. Okay. In Finland, if you drive a car, which lane should I drive? Right or left? Right or left? What's the problem if I drive on the left lane?
Car crash.
Car crash. Otherwise, if the lane is empty, then you can drive on the left. Huh? Huh?
But you will get a ticket.
Ticket. Yeah. Okay. So when you say car crash like this, you're being so gentle. You'll get a ticket. What do you mean by ticket? The road says, "Oh, you're on the wrong lane. Hey, ticket." Who will say this? Road will say this, or somebody will say this? Ah. It's a convention. What do you mean by convention here? Tell me. The right lane is correct. Left lane is wrong. It's a convention. What do you mean by convention? Donna?
Something mutually agreed upon.
Something which is?
Mutually agreed upon.
Okay.
So we all decide that because in the UK it's the other way.
Okay, something which is mutually agreed upon. Okay.
To avoid confusion.
The flower exists objectively or subjectively? Because everybody agrees that it's objectively real. Right? So the flower exists, it's a convention that the flower is objectively real. Is it? No, the flower doesn't exist objectively. No matter how many people agree, it doesn't matter. 7 billion human beings come together and sign that it's objectively real. It's not true. It isn't true. Right? 7 billion people come and sign that Dorji came from another planet. UFO. Right? It's not true. I was born from somebody from the planet Earth. So therefore, simply because people agree doesn't mean that it's convention. What is convention is my question. Originally you said that
To avoid confusion.
there's a purpose, you're getting it? From the object, there's nothing really there. That the right lane should be correct, left lane should be wrong. There's nothing there from the object. To avoid confusion, then not the object, from the subject. Then the government, okay, in Sweden, any idea? The car first came to Sweden which year? Huh? Okay, let's say 1800, let's say 1800. The first came to Sweden. Which lane was correct? Which lane was the right lane then? Correct lane then? Then, the first car came on this earth. First car came on Sweden. No lane required.
Required because they used to, before in Europe when they ride road horses, they used also left and right lanes depending.
Okay, in Europe there's also the right and left.
With horses.
With horses?
Yes.
Are you sure?
There's a reason for that.
No, what I'm saying, in those, the population is huge.
Even 500 years ago, even 800 years ago.
No, 800 is Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
Genghis Khan, he has no rule.
Even 1,000 times.
Genghis Khan, no rule.
Not in Asia, in Europe, yeah, in England.
Okay, let's say, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, 10 seconds.
Okay, let's say, what Thomas said, what Thomas is correct. Let's say, I don't know 800, let's say 500. Let's say 500. 800 is a little far away. 500, and let's say there was no car, and it was just the hot carriages and so forth. Still there is the lane rules there. Let's say 0.3 million years ago, the human beings first appeared. Do you think that the human beings appeared on Earth and the lane started? The lane traffic rules started? No, traffic rules started somewhere. Initially you can go anywhere, right, left, there's no problem. Carriages, right, left, there's no problem. Then gradually the number increases. The Then they at the crossroads, then everything gets stuck there. Nobody's moving. Nobody's moving. Everybody wants to move first. So everything gets stuck. So then the administrators, okay, we have to do something. So then they call some experts, thinkers. What should we do? Tell us. There's a problem there. How to solve this problem? Then the best thing is to create a rule. Rule means convention. There's either right or left, whichever. Whichever we have to fix on one and say that always go on the one lane, right or left. You make fix. It's fine, whichever, right? And then you say that, okay, right lane. Let's say right. Okay, now from tomorrow onwards, anybody who drives on the left, you will be penalty. You'll be penalized, right? So the road does not tell you. It is a people's mind come together, and then on the basis of this, they say something, and it works. And it works. That if anybody who drives on the left will be penalized. And if you're penalized, right, you cannot complain. If you go to the court, you lose. Right? It works perfectly well. Something comes into being by the conventions or by the agreement or whatever, and it operates so well. It operates so well. Even if say 7 billion human beings, they come together and say that by eating food you will be hungry. By eating food, hunger will disappear actually. But by eating food, then let's create a new convention. Eat food and hunger disappears. No, eating food and hunger will arise. You sign, still it will not become convention. Whereas, okay, we all drive on the right, not on the left. You sign, the government, president, prime minister, on the minister of the transportation, he signed, and from the next day, everyone has to drive on the right. If you drive on the left, you'll be penalized. And everybody will be scared to drive on the left. Right? It works. It operates so well. This is convention. The road will not tell you, it's the subject will tell you. This is the meaning of convention. So conventional analysis, meaning from the subject, not from the object. Not from the object, it's from the subject. Now, group A, what are you seeing? Hey, group A. Water. The analysis group A is using is what? Conventional analysis. You're getting it? They're using the conventional analysis. And group B is using? Hey, group B, what are you using? Ultimate analysis. And what are you seeing? Emptiness of the water. Okay, your analysis. Is this ultimate analysis, conventional analysis? Ultimate analysis. What makes you think that? Is it not the subject, your analysis? Is the subject the object? Hey, group A also should think. Group B's analysis, is that subject or the object? Oh, wow.
If it's ultimate.
Group B's, the analysis, is they thinking? Is this the mind or the object? It's the mind. It's a subject. But why did you call it as ultimate analysis? Huh? Why it is known as ultimate analysis? And tell me, what did you see? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Hey, group B. Emptiness of the water. Okay. Seeing emptiness of the water is by going deeper in the object or going deeper in the subject?
On the object.
On the object. Right? So going deeper towards the object is looking for the ultimate. Going away from the object, you are looking for the conventional.
You're going away from the denomination, from the convention.
Okay, something you, okay, say you go towards the object, you go towards the, for example, let's say, okay, the Henry's mother knows Henry the best. Henry's, okay, but the mother's also biased. Okay, and the Henry's, let's say, the Henry school teacher who was known for honesty and integrity, he knows Henry the best. What he says is the ultimate, which means that he knows so precisely. What I know is just the superficial. What I know is just the superficial. It's more like my own perception. Whereas for him, he knows him more closely. Closely meaning closer towards the object, closer. Okay, even this English word is so beautiful. I know him very closely. I know him very closely means closely of the object or the subject. Of the object. Closer to the object means that's a connotation of the objectivity. Right? Whereas I don't know him too closely. Yeah, I know him, but I'm not to him too closely. Which means that I know him not closely means now closer towards the subject. Closely means closer towards the object. So object is a connotation of ultimate, subject is a connotation of convention. Because who creates all these conventions? Our subject, our mind creates convention. So mind is the connotation of conventionality and the object is the connotation of ultimate. So if the things exist from the object, it becomes objective existence. It becomes ultimate existence. What exists from this subject is known as conventional existence. You're getting it? Okay. So group B is looking more closely to its object. Close to group B. You are seeing electron microscope, you're looking at the object more closely, closer to its object. So they are looking for the ultimate. You're getting it? Okay, now one not really topic as such, concept which I'd like to share with you, which is so important, is that, okay, let's say, what we learned thus far is that everything exists objectively, subjectively. Subjectively. Okay, let us keep this in mind. Let's say this room, this hall is the room of the subjectivity. This hall is the room of subjectivity. Okay. When you say, where is Dorji? Right? Say, Alex asks, where is Dorji? Right? Where is Geshe? Right? Then what will you say? He's there. He's there. Is correct or not correct? Correct. Huh? He's there. Correct or not correct? Yes, of course it's correct. This you are very confident. I'm very happy. Okay. Okay, he's correct. After seeing me, okay, if you are the only person who is exposed to the concept of philosophy, you and Alex, only you and Alex, and the rest of them were, hired from the street. From the street who are going for shopping, we hired them, put them here, no exposure to philosophy, and then Alex asked them, hey, where is Geshe? Where is Dorji? Right? And then, who is Dorji? And then you said that Dorji is the one who came from India to do the Bodhicitta retreat with us. I see, he's the one, right? Well, he's there. Is correct or not correct? Okay, so these people will be shocked or not shocked? No, this is obvious, he's there. Okay, so these people, conventional people who are not exposed to philosophy, right? They will agree, conventional world will agree that Dorji is there. Then after seeing Dorji, still you ask, where is Dorji? Dorji's body is Dorji, right? Dorji's lung, heart is Dorji. You go like this, then the conventional world will be shocked. What are they talking about? Right? We already saw him and still asking, his body is the Dorji, his mind is Dorji, his hands are Dorji, his heart is Dorji, lungs Dorji, like this. Then what is this? This is a crazy place. Right? They already found him and still they're asking questions. What is this? So the conventional world will get lost. Which means that you have crossed the border of the conventionality. Convention is the subject, how you see, that's it. Don't go too deep into the object. How you see, that's it. If you go too deep into the object, Dorji will disappear. You agree with me?
Yes.
How you see Dorji? Where's Dorji? He's here. This is how the conventional world accepts. Stay there. If you go beyond that, Dorji will disappear. You're getting it? Dorji's bones and heart, lungs and so forth, Dorji will disappear. Okay, so, which means that conventional world says, okay, yes, he's there, Dorji is there. Stay there. This is known as Dorji existing conventionally. Now, if you explore a little deeper than this, little deeper towards the object, where is Dorji? There's a skin is Dorji, there's a heart is Dorji. You go like this, you have crossed the border of the conventionality. Crossing the border of conventionality, you are going to go deep into the object, ultimate. You're going to deep into the ultimate. Ultimate. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. Subjective as opposed to objective. True, the deceptive existence as opposed to true existence. Dependent existence as opposed to independent existence. You're getting it? All these opposites we have to know. Conventional existence as opposed to ultimate existence. Subjective existence as opposed to objective existence. Now, the moment you cross this conventionality, you go into the ultimate. The moment you cross the border of the subjectivity, you go into the objectivity. You're getting it? Okay. So, when we say that, where is Dorji? After seeing Dorji, still you going to then cross the border of conventionality. You're looking for the ultimate. You're looking for ultimate. Now, okay, we will go step by first step. You are looking for the object, and you cross the border of the conventionality. You are looking for the object. What are you looking for? You are looking for the ultimate. And now, in search of this, in search of the object, through crossing the border of conventionality, if you do find something, that should be the ultimate truth. Right? In the process, you're looking for an object by crossing the not staying within the conventionality. Cross the border of conventionality, you are looking for something, you are looking for the ultimate. And if you do find something, that should be the ultimate truth. A truth found through ultimate analysis. You're getting it?
Yes.
Got it? Okay. So now, let's say that this is the conventional, the border of the conventionality, this hall. This hall is the border of conventionality. The moment you get out, you're looking for you have to cross the border of the conventionality. The moment you get out of this house, you're going to you cross the border of conventionality. Crossing the border of conventionality, you are peeping into the ultimate. And if you do find something, that should be the ultimate truth. Don't forget it. I've said two things. One is that if you're looking for something, by crossing the border of conventionality, you are looking for the ultimate. Number one. Number two, and in this process, if you do find something, what you found should be the ultimate truth. Two. You're getting it? Okay. Now, because that what we learn is everything exists. Everything exists subjectively, dependently, conventionally. You're getting it? Okay, everything exists subjectively. Subjectively, conventionally, all mean the same. So within this hall, this is the hall of the conventionality. The moment you get out of this, you go into the ultimate domain. Nothing exists in the ultimate domain. You're getting it? Okay, now you are so curious. I want to see what is behind this house. I want to see what is behind this house. Right? Then you peep through the window. You peep through the window, what will you find?
The woods.
No, the forest is also conventional reality. It should be this is the world of the conventionality. The moment you cross this, you enter into the ultimate. Nothing exists ultimately. This is my question. This is my point. Do you understand the metaphor? I give the metaphor. I'm not saying it seriously. No. Make it very precise. What I'm saying, everything exists subjectively, everything exists conventionally, means just imagine that this is a world of conventionality. This room is a world of conventionality. Right? The moment you cross this border, you cross the border of conventionality. The moment you cross the border of conventionality, you will not find anything. Because everything exists in the conventional domain. You're getting it? Okay. Now, and you're so curious. You're so curious. What could be behind this? What is behind this wall? You peep through, what will you find?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You see things as they really are.
No, did you understand? We should understand the metaphor. This metaphor is very important. Right? Okay, Marika, tell me, what made you think that you find nothing?